I had an illegal abortion in 1969. I come from a small town, was in a small college. How could I find someone to perform an illegal abortion? There were networks, but I didn't know about them. One friend told me not to hurt myself. No pills, no bleach, no knitting needles, etc. I hadn't known about self-abortion, but that really scared me. My friends found an old GP in a nearby town whose clientele had declined. I think he was an alcoholic. He kept me waiting until the last, told his receptionist she could leave. When he asked me when my last period was, I lied so it wouldn't seem too late in the pregnancy. I was lucky that he didn't demand any sexual favors or extra money. He did his thing with a cigarette hanging between his lips. The ash kept getting longer and longer and longer. I focused on it because I thought the ash would fall into my vagina. Sorry. For aftercare, he handed me a few tissues and said, "Put this in your panties." Nothing else. I went back to school and started running a high temperature. Every time I stood up, I whooshed blood. My roommates took me to a doctor who told me that I was stupid. My tubes were probably scarred and I would not be able to have a baby. All without an examination. I have a lovely son, by the way, so who's stupid, doc? Turns out I had the flu during a flu epidemic. When I returned home a week later, I was reading the morning paper, and there was my abortionist on page 3, charged with murder. He perforated a woman's uterus while helping her. That could have been me. It could have been me. No one should go through that or worse, die for lack of safe, legal abortion care. In the late 1960s, I joined every coalition in New York City I could find to fight Operation Rescue, which was trying to shut down clinics by having hundreds of people block the doorways. In 1989, I stood with Merle Hoffman in front of St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City in civil disobedience. We posted our theses on the cathedral door. Later that year, I and 3 others disrupted the U.S. Supreme Court. We were sentenced to 4 days in D.C. jail. People have asked me what was being heard. I just want to let you know it was not an abortion issue. We wouldn't want to prejudice the court. We stood up one by one before the court was in order, but the justices had just sat down. And last Sunday, February 27th, at the age of 73, I again stood at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City with Merle Hoffman and son Sarah Taylor and others to tell my story. A group of us, including son Sarah, blocked traffic on 5th Avenue in civil disobedience.
Hey, Sammi!
The stakes are even higher today. Not only are women's lives in danger, if we let Roe v. Wade be reversed, how many other civil rights will go? Abortion on demand and without apology.